Yo, what's good, my wolf pack? Elf of the pack right here. It's been a minute, man. It's been a while. But, man, in this video, I want to talk about why I guess this is going to be a video about me talking about why I love Tomb Raider, or specifically the new Tomb Raider games. I have to specify that because apparently, um, classic fans, OG fans, hate the new Tomb Raider games, or at least from what I've seen online, the classic fans hate the new Tomb Raider games for some reason. But as someone who was introduced to Lara Croft through the Survivor era, through these current games, I gotta say I love them. I think they're fucking top tier. They're beautiful, bro. The graphics is great. The story is mad entertaining. I love these games a lot. You know, throughout this trilogy, from Tomb Raider to Rise of the Tomb Raider to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, you see Laura just evolve, and it's great, bro. Like in the first game, she's this scared girl, and you see her slowly build up and start her journey of to be the Tomb Raider. And I'm currently going through Rise of the Tomb Raider. I haven't beat it yet. I played the games all out of order. I started with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and then I played Tomb Raider, and now I'm playing through Rise of the Tomb Raider. Right. So I know the stories of Shadow and Tomb Raider, but not so much Rise. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. But you really do see Laura evolve through these games. Like in Tomb Raider, she and her crew are traveling to this are going are on this expedition, going on this expedition through the Triangle, and they end up stranded on this island where where if you get stuck when you get stuck on this island, you can never leave. If you try to leave, you basically die basically. So if you get stuck on the island, you can't leave, and you find out that the reason why whoever gets stuck on this island is because it's controlled, it's haunted by this evil queen and her demons and all this, right? And you're gonna be stuck there until the this evil queen gets a vessel. She inherits a new body, right? And you see Laura basically has to fight to survive with her crew and fight for her crew because some of her crew members do get killed off. So you see Laura go on this journey through from this scared girl through this boss and this to this boss, and it's beautiful. I love it. And in Shadow the Tomb Raider, you see her fight this cult who is hell bent on trying to remake the world. They think they could rid the world of sin and disease and all this. And while Laura's trying to put a stop to this cult in Shadow, you see she's like the cause of all of these uh world disasters, earthquakes, landslides, all of it. She's the cause of it because she took this magical dagger. In her defense, she took it so the cult wouldn't get the dagger, but you know she's beating up she's just beating herself up for it all throughout the game. But honestly, whether she took the dagger or not, those events would have happened regardless, you know. But you see how she has to accept what she did, and she goes on this journey, and she's fighting this cult this whole time until she finds this hidden city called Patiti, and she has to save the people there, protect them from the cult. And it's a real brief summarization, but the journey that you go through with Laura with these games, I think, is 100% beautiful. And you get to and Shadow particularly, you get to learn about Laura's family and her childhood and how her father was never home, and how basically it was just her and her mom, but her mom dies, then eventually her father dies, but you see it was the cult that actually killed him. It's just this crazy adventure, this crazy twist of emotions, and I loved every second I spent with Laura and these games. The graphics are beautiful, bro. The story, in my opinion, is top notch, dog. I really love these games, dog, and I bought the trilogy, Tomb Raider, Rise, Shadow, in the PSN store, and I try to get them in. I try to get physical copies as well, but I only got Shadow and Rise right here. It's very difficult getting Tomb Raider. Um, But I love these games, man. I started out my adventure with Laura started with these games, and I think these games are great. And seeing all the hate online that people have towards these games is ridiculous because you really see Laura's character development, and people are saying that she's too emotional. She, the games make her out to be a hero, where I guess in the original game she was an anti-hero. She was more on the villainous side, apparently, from what people are saying. But then, when I looked into it, there were a bunch of games that came out. I think like maybe nine games that came out, maybe 12, 9, 12, something like that. But from what I understand, each of these games, they're not connected whatsoever. They're all in their own contained universe. They're all in separate timelines. So I really don't understand the issue that old Tomb Raider fans have with the new era of Tomb Raider if the games have no connection to each other whatsoever. They're separate timeline, alternate universes. So I really don't understand what niggas are whining about when they say, "Oh, Laura's a hero in these new games when she wasn't in the old ones." I'm like, so what? And then there's people saying that these new games didn't sell well when these current Tomb Raider games, sold more than the older games. Like the older games range from 1 million to 8 million copies sold, while these games, the Survivor era, the new trilogy, they go from like 14 million to 11 million to I think 9 million, right? They sold a lot more than the older games, and most games don't even get to like 1 million sales. It's rare for a game to hit 1 million sales. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. A lot of games don't reach those numbers unless they're a monster like say Dark Souls or Elden Ring. Unless they're monster games like those titles, they don't reach those numbers. So saying that the new trilogy didn't sell well, it's a lie. It's false. I think that's just another thing people came up with just to hate on a game, to hate on a series, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I understand if you're like an OG, if you started with a series from the beginning and you want to see games done in a certain way, because apparently, I understand if you want to see games done in a certain way, but to just bash a new games of a series you follow entirely, I think that's just ridiculous, and to want it to be canceled and to want the games to stop being made entirely, I think that's ridiculous. I think that's incredibly disrespectful as well, because apparently the older games wasn't so much as based on story or Laura. Her private life, her family situation wasn't really explored. It was more so about um, raiding tombs, finding treasures and all this, going to hidden locations, as the name implies, Tomb Raider. But again, like I said, as someone who uh, found Laura, became a Tomb Raider fan through these games, through the current games, I love it, you know, and I really don't see the issue at all. But yeah, man, that's basically it. I just basically wanted to get in front of the camera and talk about my love for these games and how much I became a Tomb Raider fan, a Lara Croft fan from these games right here. You know what I'm saying? I hear that they're making a fourth game, and I don't know how true that is. But if they do make a fourth games, I won't be mad at it. I'll gladly pick it up, unless it's PlayStation 5 exclusive. Because all the good games apparently are PlayStation 5 exclusive. Games are being made for the PS4 less and less, bro. And a nigga still can't get a PS5. The PS5 has been out for like what, a year or two, and niggas still can't get that. And apparently the PS5 is like $500. $500. That's insane. Nobody's spending that much money on a console, bro. I'm gonna stick to my PS. I'm gonna stick to my PS4, especially because you can't get a PS5, man. Come on, bro. But unless the new game is
That's you. I was wondering what that noise was.
unless unless the new game is a PS5 exclusive, and yeah, I'll definitely pick it up. But I heard some news that apparently that the makers of the series are gonna make Lara Croft lesbian when she's canonically uh, straight. Uh, that seems like they're playing to the LGBTQ, however other many others there are, crowd. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that personally, but I don't know, man. I guess depending on how the story is, I guess I'll give it a shot. But yeah, man, that's basically all I have to say. Peace out, my wolf pack. Your alpha has spoken.